Okay. Right, there we go. Sweet. I think that was pretty much spot on.
Yeah, it was. All we need to do now is edit out this bit, and then I can do the intro. It'll be fantastic.
Okay, should you have gone straight into the intro then? Did I mess that up?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's generally... that's the convention, let me put it that way.
Okay, do you want to go again, or do you just want to go?
No, I think we're good. It's okay. I'll definitely edit all of this out of the podcast, and no one is going to hear any of it. I promise.
Do you do the Dark Were the Skies live?
I don't really do it live, per se. Yeah. It just becomes inconvenient, because you know how pedantic people can get. It's like, oh, you got this off by a semitone. I'm not listening to you anymore. It's upsetting,
it happens.
Really.
It does happen.
I cry sometimes. I cry. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Total Biscuit of the WoW Podcast, Blue Please on CynicalBrit.com. That's what you're listening to, and if you thought you were listening to something else, then you were deadly, deadly mistaken. I brought on someone who claims... Hang on, let me just check this here. Dear Total Biscuit, I am, quote, te best. Inside sources confirm I will answer all questions about all classes. Sincerely, the T? Is that T?
Yeah, just one. Just the T.
Just single T. Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure of that. So, welcome the T to this particular show, who in 15 minutes is going to explain the entirety of World of Warcraft in a way that everybody can understand.
I got a doctorate in it. I'm a doctor of Warcraft.
Interesting. For which university? What's your alma mater?
The University of Life.
Excellent.
And Warcraft. Yeah. It's Life and Warcraft. It's a new one. It's quite a small one.
That's a bit of an oxymoron, don't you think?
Yeah, it is, actually. I never thought of it that way.
Oh, well, you get new perspectives on everything every day. That's the wonders of life and Warcraft. So, I've heard that you specialised, in fact, you know all classes really well, but you specialised in warriors. So, why don't you start us off with that? We've been looking at the Cataclysm talents, and a lot of us are very confused because we don't play that class. You know, classes with swords and the hitting of things and the violence, it's a little scary for me, honestly. As a class wearer,
it can be, yeah.
So, you've braved that, I've been told. So, why don't we have a look at the Cataclysm talents? What general state do you think that the warrior's in right now in terms of the Cataclysm beta?
In the beta, it's definitely in what I would call a fun state. I found myself enjoying playing a warrior, which is, I think, always it's a positive. It's a strong positive.
Do you think fun is really all that important in video games in this modern era?
It depends, really, as to if fun also equals superiority. I think that can also be very important. As long as my class is better than your class, that does equal fun.
I see. Okay.
But for the most part, warriors, we tend to be doing all right. We haven't got it too bad. Quite clearly defined trees, which is always something that excites me as a gamer.
So you're a big fan of trees, then?
I love trees.
So
I love
a tree
trees.
Enthusiast.
I was hoping that we were going to have PvT introduced into Cataclysm, but I haven't seen anything yet. But players versus trees would just be insane. It'd be really, really good fun.
Indeed. And fun, as you say, equals superiority, and superiority equals fun. So that's a good formula to work by. So, what spec do you usually play, let's say, in the pre-Cataclysm era?
I normally play Protection and Arms. That's my dual spec. Protection because it's like instant dungeon finder groups, and Arms because it's easier than Fury. So that tends to be my factor for doing that.
Indeed, that's important. So let's have a look at the Protection tree. That's had quite a few changes, particularly in the last beta patch. So what do you reckon to the state of the Prot tree at the moment? Are there any standout talents to you?
I really like some of the newer ones. For example, Blood and Thunder. I quite like the sound of Blood and Thunder. Basically, when you thunderclap a target that's got rend, you basically affect every other target that gets thunderclapped with rend as well.
Excellent.
So
and does that stack with improved
tabbing.
rend and kills everything within a 5-mile radius?
I would hope so.
Excellent.
Yeah, from what I understand, yes, it does, and that's why improved rend is still nice and high up the tree.
Indeed.
Accessible in Arms. But yeah, it's just those little things. It's something that whenever I go, for example, in Halls of Reflection, it's funny. They have this misunderstanding where they think I'm actually a bad tank. And it's
I
funny.
can't imagine why anyone would ever think that.
I know, exactly. It's just a fundamental kind of design of the warrior class that, we have Thunderclap on a cooldown, and I use cleave and I tab. Well, I do alt tab sometimes.
I see.
But I tab between targets. And like I said, sometimes the healer dies, but that's all part of it. That's part of my rotation.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
got, 1-1-5, 1-3-2, 1-5, healer dies, we all restart, and I go again. It's quite a complicated rotation, but I've mastered it, I feel.
It takes a lot of practice to get to that level, I feel. Yeah.
Definitely. So Blood and Thunder kind of... firstly, I just like the name. I really do like having, Blood and Thunder. It sounds pretty badass. But also,
I must say,
what
it
it does
sounded
is
a
kind
bit
of
more
cool.
badass when it was enunciated by somebody in the game as opposed by you there. But I don't know, it sounded a little bit limp-wristed. Is that part of your strategy to fool the opponent into believing that you're in fact...
Sometimes, if the
Excellent,
taunt doesn't work, I try and kind of tempt them out and to see if they're just if they're intrigued or offended easily. So either way it works. But yeah, Blood and Thunder. I thought that was pretty manly. Can we lower this bit like on the Blood and Thunder or something like that?
Well, the important thing is that you believe that, and that's the greatest gift.
That is, and I do believe it, which is always nice. I mean, I do feel like looking through the protection tree and things like that, that they've kind of stuck with that quote that they had where they were taking out all the filler talents, and pretty much everything is something kind of fun and new, or it's got a particular effect. I see quite a conscious difference when I get that talent, whereas before it's like, I got 2% extra armor. We still have that.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
I noticed that actually. That is really boring when you think about it. When you look at the other stuff, have a look at Improved Revenge. Actually, I love that. It's a bit of damage increase, but it makes it strike an additional target as well. That's great. That makes what was otherwise a really dull and pretty undesirable talent overall into something that's really fun and enjoyable, and you get to smack multiple targets about. And warrior tanks always seem to complain that they couldn't tank multiple targets. So there
exactly.
You go.
I wonder if we're going now too far, where it might be too easy to AoE tank. But I doubt it, especially for me. So it just seems like they're giving us extra tools to make it kind of more viable for that. I don't know, it's kind of something that possibly could have been done with glyphs, and so people who wanted to be the AoE tank, could go and get some glyphs. But I think it's nice. It kind of gives you that baseline, so if you've got a warrior tank, they should be able to handle at least 2 or 3 mobs, which should be alright. Should be quite exciting.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. So, do you do any PvP with that warrior of yours?
I do, but obviously, I say obviously, I use the arm spec for PvP. You can PvP prot, but I just find, obviously, with things like Mortal Strike and things like that, it tends to feel a little bit more... I don't know, I've kind of always grown up that arms is the PvP tree. They've kind of came away from that a little bit with Cataclysm, where arms has actually seemed a little bit more PvE in some ways, and that they're opening up Fury to be a bit more PvP focus, but some people do that already, so I don't know, maybe that's just me who's kind of experiencing that change. But I like some of the new talents in the arms tree. Deadly Calm, it's really exciting. We've got one for the next 10 seconds, none of your abilities cost rage, but you continue to generate rage. And that coupled with the new spell, which we get at, level 81, which is Inner Rage, which when we achieve maximum rage, we enter an enraged state. It's all about rage. Causing damage, we get 50% extra damage, and rage cost would be increased by 15%. But obviously, coupled that with Deadly Calm, which is only on a 10-minute cooldown, you've got 10 seconds of 50% increased rage, basically, with no extra cost. And then obviously a little bit after that. So it's it seems like the talents are being built around having some extra damage chucked out, which is always nice. The latest one that also came through, Throwdown. It's just basically we knock a target onto the ground and stun it. I mean, it's happened to me a million times all the way back from like Molten Core. It's happened to me, and mobs have been doing it, but now I get to do it. So I'm kind of excited about that.
A little bit of revenge, kind of purge some of those bad emotions, the bad vibes that have been in your master.
Without doubt, exactly. I don't know, because it just knocks the target to the ground. I would have preferred if it knocked them back a little bit, just because that's a real fun way to grief people and knock them off ledges and things like that. So, but, you can't have it all, which is unfortunate. But Throwdown, kind of, again, cool name, cool talent. I like that.
Indeed.
It works for me.
Well, you can't always get what you want, Terpster.
Well, maybe. Who knows?
But if you try sometimes...
I will try.
Indeed. Excellent. So, tell us a little bit about what you've been doing, because I haven't seen you in at least 25 years now.
It has been almost that. My WoW game card's nearly run out, so
Indeed.
It's been a long time. I am doing a few podcasts. I do 4 podcasts at the moment. I do one general gaming show called Giant Enemy Crab. I do one kind of general geeky show called The Incredible Podcast of Amazing Awesomeness. I do a movie show called The Movielicious, and I do a help podcast, like an agony aunt sort of thing, called Hypothetical Help. All of those can be found over on terpsdivision.tv, which is just my website where I post random things. And yeah, I do the odd video here and there. I do the odd blog post. I don't really do anything too seriously, consistently, or impressively, but I do stuff. So, that's where you can find
It's
stuff.
important that you're trying. That's the main
Exactly,
thing.
I do. I find a lot of people say I'm trying, actually, which is quite nice.
Yeah,
I think.
it's a good compliment, I feel.
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
if a lot of people are saying it. That
Yeah.
means they're very sincere.
They say, that Terpster, God, he's trying. And I'm
Indeed.
like, thank you. Thank you very much.
That's good stuff. So, I heard you were forced to watch the new Twilight movie, and
I loved it.
Right, so you still have your balls attached to your body then? They haven't been claimed by somebody else?
Well, they're kind of morphing into a new... It's kind of like a Zerg mutation. They've turned
I see.
into like an Ultralisk sort of thing. But yeah, no, I did enjoy it. There was some really funny bits to it. Like, have you seen it?
Funnily enough, I haven't, actually.
Oh, you're
One of
missing
those-
out. There's this brilliant bit where the werewolf guy is carrying the girl, and it looks so ridiculous. It's just stuck in my mind ever since, and I can't get it out of just this guy running like a complete weirdo just with a girl in his arms. It's absolutely hilarious. I think I can't wait till it comes out on DVD just so I can rip that bit and just play it back. Maybe, I don't know, I might put it online. Do that. That's probably
Do you think
illegal,
they
but I'll
build
do
it wrong, honestly? Instead of a dark gothic romance, it should have been a bit more of an action comedy. Maybe throw Bruce Willis
exactly.
in
If they had the Benny Hill theme tune while he was carrying the girl, it would fit so perfectly. It's a shame, really. But no, truth be told, I actually did enjoy it. Again, I've got no quarrels with my sexuality. I enjoy a bit of Twilight. I like a bit of True Blood. I like my vampires, in any which way, and that's all good. That's why I'm kind of happy about the Worgen being in WoW, because obviously now I can live out my kind of vampire werewolf kind of fantasies. I can be a blood elf warlock, it's blatantly a vampire.
Of course.
And then I can, sort of have a werewolf called Jacob, but I have to probably spell it with like a funny accent on the A, like one of those little kind of hats or something, so it all looks, it's not actually Jacob because it's taken, but it will say Jacob.
Yeah, of course.
And then I'll go and meet with all the other Jacobs who have rolled in the starting area, and we just play some werewolf. Wow, be quite exciting.
Sounds excellent. Yeah, you're really getting to the RP scene there by the sound of it.
Well, not really. No, I don't consider that RP. That's just more kind of just, who I am or who I'm trying to be now, I guess. More of a werewolf just in day-to-day life. So, yeah, I'm quite excited by it.
Excellent. So, what's your overall opinion of the Cataclysm beta so far? Let's start with, what's your favourite bit?
Oh, that's a very good question. I absolutely love Hyjal. Playing through that zone was just... It's incredible. I have something I call... It's only for me, but I called it my Ashenvale moment. It was that first bit. When I first played through WoW, I had this... I played through Ashenvale, and it was... Again, it's not even a great zone. You harken back and think Ashenvale's not actually that good.
Really
but
isn't.
my first playthrough... that really kind of captured my imagination and just saw the possibilities of what WoW could do, what it could become. And it was, I think, just the quest flow in there. I don't know, I just really, for some reason, that kind of made WoW, to me, what it is today. And playing through Hyjal, I had that experience all over again of just, holy crap, there's so much going on. Obviously, there's a huge amount of phasing that goes on during Hyjal. The whole landscape dramatically changes from when you start to when you finish. You get to face off against major lore characters and work with lore characters. That just really just blew my mind. And then contrast that with Vashir and the whole underwater experience. I thought I was a little bit hesitant because obviously in WoW, whenever you go underwater, it's annoying. You move slow. You've got to go up to the surface to breathe. You can't eat underwater, so for regen you can only bandage and all of those sorts of things. But the way they kind of changed it and actually made underwater be really fun. And there were bits where I was like, oh, hang on, I've got to run through all these mobs. Oh, hang on, no, I don't. I can just go over the top of them. And it's just it's a real kind of fun experience. Interesting how it's very almost like a refugee sort of feel to the underwater zone, because it's kind of everything's very ad hoc and kind of put together on the go. I just absolutely loved the new kind of 80+ content, and likewise the starting zones. They do a great job of kind of introducing the concept to you. The Worgen zone is better than the Goblin zone in terms of story.
It is. Yeah.
The Goblin one's still fun, obviously, and you get to do crazy things, but it's more of a sort of a gimmick.
Yes.
It's not to say I don't love it. It's still great, but the Worgen zone is, without a doubt, the greatest starting experience so far in WoW. But that being said, I saw your video, actually, on the Troll one. I haven't tried a Troll yet. But it looked
really good zone, honestly.
Yeah, it looked
very
quite
well
cool.
put
And
together.
then there's that whole kind of conversation at the end between Thrall and Vol'jin, which seems quite exciting. I'd quite like to see that for my own eyes.
Indeed.
So yeah,
it's some good stuff. And
I'm loving it across the board. Really, it is absolutely incredible. I've really kind of it's reignited my love of Warcraft without doubt. And this is only the beta, and we're getting booted every 5 minutes because of a server shutdown or can't log in, and yet you still keep coming back for more because it is just that great. I'm kind of annoyed though. I'm going to have to do it all over again. But I guess that's a good thing.
This is going to suck. By the time I'm done with this lot, oh god. I just find some Chinese farmer to do it for me. Oh, sorry, I'll have to edit that one out as well.
That's fine. I'll do it for you if you want.
Yeah, you could do that. That would be great.
Yeah.
It won't be a problem. I'll send that over to you, and just get rid of that bit, and we'll be good.
Yeah, sweet.
Excellent. Well, ladies and gents, you now know everything there is to know about WoW. I feel enlightened and possibly aroused.
Most things. Yeah, obviously, a little bit short, but it's the conversation, that is. But I think we covered some of the key points there. You might want to get another warrior on later on. That might...
maybe a few months down the line, once things have changed a bit and this interview is out of date. I think this is going to be the gold standard for a long time.
Yeah, I could maybe come back and do a different class next time.
Yeah,
I think, I could do mages.
Yeah, that sounds good. We don't have any mage experts around here, so that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Because, I think they've got a whole new tier of water coming out.
They do, actually, yeah. It's very important that we discuss the mechanics of that as as just what kind of crust they're going to be using.
Oh, exactly. And also, other things like portals. There's some great, there's obviously Dalaran still in the game, but how's that going to be used? Are there new ways? I'm quite excited, really, as to, just the portals and the rituals of refreshment, stuff like that. That's the kind of thing, as a mage, I get excited about as well.
Yeah, exactly. Mages, how do they work? And we do need someone to explain that. Ladies and gents, the tea.
Thank you very much.
Displayed for all to see.
Yeah.
My name's been Total Biscuit, and this has been Blue Please. Go check out Terps' stuff over on terpsdivision.tv. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the one. Or you can go to Twitter, twitter.com/the_T.
Excellent. We'll be right back after this, folks. Enjoy.